Hi guys, Danny here, popping on for another Hear Me Out episode. I hope everyone has been doing well, at least surviving the last few weeks. I know I've been MIA. I've been busy. I've been busy. I have a competitive dancer. We are in the midst of season of the dance season, and so we are traveling. We recently had to put one of our pups down. I have had two multipooes, a brother and a sister. They were turning 14 about a week and a half ago, but right before my boy's 14th birthday, we had to put him down. And so right before their 14th birthday, and so the sister is struggling. It was the first time we had to put her in the dog hotel in over 9 months, and it's the first time without her brother, and so we have been dealing with that. I had to pick her up this morning because we just got back from Atlanta. We were at the Showbiz dance competition there in Duluth, and it was so super fun. And I believe this is our last season though, and so we're just kind of soaking it up and really enjoying it. But yeah, going on a tangent about myself, but hey, that y'all are watching, so I'll go on tangents. But yes, so I'm a dance mom. Everyone knows that. I'll keep reiterating that. I'm really proud of my daughter for that. But I have 3 other children that also do a lot of things, and just staying busy with that. And so I haven't had a lot to add to the conversation when it comes to Amberlynn as a whole. I still listen to Zachary Michael. I still watch Alex's Shook. I am still unsubscribed and not watching anything Oh Lordy It's Shorty is doing, or The Ankle. And that has been very, very beneficial. I did see Amberlynn addressing Beck for the last time, that video, and also the quitting Ozempic. Y'all know I've come on here before. I've said this, like, do not stop Ozempic. I don't know if I can continue like watching if you stop this time. Oh my gosh, my bra is so loose. Like, if you stop Ozempic, the fact that she is receiving it from a online vendor, I have nothing against that. I receive my medication from an online vendor, and they will work with you. If they've sent you the wrong dose, which is very interesting that her excuse is that they sent her the wrong dose and that they were late. I have had experiences with my online vendor of them not sending it when they were supposed to, or I just kept receiving medication like again and again and again when I'm like, whoa, I have like surplus of this stuff. Never did it stop working or lose its strength or anything like that. It was something that I would have to actually inject myself and like pull from the vial. I've never had any issues. I even recommended my online vendor to Amberlynn months and months and months ago, and I don't know what vendor they decided to use. I use LifeMD. I have talking to FaceTime with a physician, answer any of my questions in a timely manner. They send me out my prescription. They've upped the dose as high as I can take it. If I never any issues, and I pay like a fraction of the cost of what my insurance would charge me. At first, my insurance was not covering it at all because I was not diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I am pre-diabetic, and they did not prescribe it to me, even though my doctor pushed for me to have it. They sent the prescription in, but my insurance would not cover it, and it was over like $1,200 a month, and I was just not going to pay that. And I get it. Amberlynn doesn't want to pay that either. Cool. LifeMD had something going at the time. It was like $600 to start. So you have the physician, and it pays for your prescription, like for you to get prescription services for 6 months or something like that. It was like a deal. And so I'm like, cool. $600, paid that, and then you have to pay for your medication every 6 weeks, which my first medication was covered because it was included in that $600, but then I was getting charged, I think it was $300 every 6 weeks. But then it went down to $200 because I was just getting the semaglutide. I wasn't receiving any kind of other medical needs from the company. Like I wasn't getting any, I wasn't meeting with the OB. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't talking to any of the other doctors. It was just for prescription refill for my semaglutide. And I got off of it for a little while through LifeMD because my insurance changed their policy. And so I understand the frustration that maybe she is just not used to these companies. Of course, they're going to have their flaws. Of course, they're going to mess up sometimes, but it's not mess up at like the detriment of your life. Like it's just, okay, you didn't get it when you were expecting it. Okay. You're not going to die. It's just not going to stop working if you are late a couple days on your dose. Like you just start it the next time you can get it. Like you're okay, Amberlynn. I don't know if it's her anxiety. It probably is. It's her anxiety when it comes to medication. It is anxiety when it comes to change, maybe. I don't even know. It's so frustrating. I don't even want to watch her. Do you feel that way? Do you feel so frustrated by her and her inconsistent, contradicting self? Very frustrating in general. But someone did comment and responded to something I had said in a previous video about Beck and how perception is reality. Amberlynn had come on saying that she was taking accountability for her actions, but Beck was lying about something, like a piece of it. And she was very weird with her words of saying Beck had come out and said that Amberlynn would time them. But she's like, that's a lie. There was no physical clock. There was no physical timer. I don't know what she's talking about. That's just a bold-faced lie. And I'm like, what? What? Like, that doesn't mean that you did not put time constraints on Beck. Amberlynn, is that what you are taking accountability for being controlling, for telling them that you wanted them back at a certain time? But that is a timer. That is like, hey, I need you back here in 45 minutes. It doesn't matter if a timer was set on a watch. You still put time constraints on Beck. And to them, which is their truth, you set a timer for them to get back to you. That's not taking accountability if there is a but. I believe Dr. Phil had said this in one of his episodes a long time ago, of saying like, if in an apology, anything after a but is a lie. I'm sorry I did X, Y, and Z, but A, B, and C is the reason, blah, 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 blah. Like all the things, like anything after the but, you're just trying to push this perspective on yourself, like of how you want to be perceived. You are so out to change the perception of yourself to your viewers and the internet, who could give two shits about you. Majority. I don't know who you're talking to when you're trying to push this narrative of who you are and how you've changed and what you haven't done and all of the things. You are wasting your time, you're wasting your life, you are wasting your happiness, your freedom, your mind is being spent on things that really don't matter. Yes, YouTube is your career. You will have viewers who view you that support you. I support you as a person who I have hope that one day you may change. Make little changes. I don't know. Like little changes, big changes. I don't know how that will look, but I have hope that you do change. I hope that you do change. but watching you right now is not something that I'm actively doing. It's very frustrating as a viewer, and I don't have time to be frustrated. I don't like, I have a life. Like, you really want like someone that gets you. That's why I watch people that don't have kids. I want to watch someone or listen to somebody who does not live my life, who does not go through my struggles. I listen to other people's struggles. I listen to other people's life experiences, not my own. Like, not my own. Yes, I have things that I relate to you on, Amberlynn, but your life I cannot relate to. That's why some of it is interesting. I like to see what a single or someone in a relationship with no kids in their 30s looks like for them. That's interesting. The fact that you still struggle with your weight. So I don't know what this is like, where this is going. I didn't think that I would feel so ill-equipped to, oh my gosh, I keep getting phone calls, to come on here and address videos of hers. I feel like I just don't have anything to add to the conversation. But when again, like I've said this too, when I do feel like I have something to add, I'll come on here and say it, and I will go off tangents about my life. I think that's why I really like watching Zachary Michael and Alex is Shook, because I don't mean this in a bad way, but they breadcrumb their life, right? Because they are public figures, but their life is not out there for the world to see. Yes, they post on Instagram and things like that, but they only provide breadcrumbs of their life, because that's not why they are on the internet. I'm not on the internet to give you my life story necessarily, but I come on here to give you my perspective on Amberlynn's life, on Girl World in general. I am watching a little bit of Glitter and Lasers surgery. I am so interested in her recent surgery. She got her arms done, and I find that very, like, just crazy, really, because she didn't have a huge amount of weight loss causing a lot of loose skin. And I know she has lymphedema, and I'm going to be very vulnerable. I'm wearing a t-shirt today so I can show, but I have lymphedema. And if you see, like, my wrists are small, right? Like, I don't have little, like, I have my rings that I have to wear. I'll show. And I wear fake rings with my engagement ring, because I never got a wedding band. But I have to wear this little plastic rubber thing on my rings, because my engagement ring, this one right here, is a size 7, and my wedding band right here is a 7 also, and I've gone down to a 6. And so I wear that so it doesn't fall off. Like, so I have a size 6 fingers, so if, right? But my lipedema, I want to say it starts right here where I feel the bally fat, but and I have stretch marks too. I'm being very vulnerable on the internet right now. Oh my gosh. But I want to show what I feel like Glitter and Lasers. I don't know if you've watch her like recent posts on Instagram, and I believe on TikTok and YouTube. I think all across the board, she's posted these same videos. She got her arms done. And she says that it was lymphedema surgery. And I'm sure she has lymphedema fat in her arms. Yes. But that's not like all of our fat, but like all of this. So I have very like large fatty I don't know even how to even say that. But this all is like lymphedema, right? Like right here, like this. And I have lost weight, right? So like this is my arm, and this all can be cut off, like all of this. Shakara transfer, and I'm like just fully transparent. I have like stretch marks and all the things, but like I have bally fat up here, like, so I would love to get the surgery that she's getting. I don't feel like she's necessarily in the place for her to actually have gotten the surgery and be successful long term, because her arms are significantly large. Like, it's not like she lost a bunch of weight and she just has bat wings. Like, I literally bat wings. Like, this is just, I have granules, I don't know, of fat, like balls of fat. I don't even know if I could, like, it's all loose. It's like really gross and disgusting. But I'm really proud of this. I come on here and say I'm very proud of my loose skin, because with Ozempic, I have been consistent with changing the way that I eat, changing how much I eat, going to therapy in tandem with taking Ozempic to work through food noise and why I have so much food noise, and what was really the root of my problem with food. And so, like, I get it. I get the whole lipedema thing. I don't wear tank top. I don't. Amberlynn comes on and has a lot of, I think she has a lot of guts to just come on as she is and wear the tank tops and things like that. I have to wear, like, to me, I just, because it's so loose, I don't know, I'm very self-conscious about my arms, but I want to come here very authentic to who I am. This is me. This is, like, I have all of that. I have loose skin on my thighs. I have loose skin. The church is going off. I have loose skin on my belly. I have an apron belly. I have a lot of loose skin. And so my husband's like, oh, why do you... Oh my gosh, I live in the South, guys. There's a church on every corner in my town, and bells go off every hour. One more time. One more time. Okay, that's it. But I want to come out and just, like, oh, and, like, because it's so loose, like, it goes like this, and then I get, like, this, like, fold of just skin. Like, Shakara Transformations, you are, like, when you talk about lymphedema, I think that you've gotten a couple opinions. I've come on there and said, like, hey, lymphedema is painful. If my husband is repetitively touching my arm, like, again, like rubbing my arm hurts. Like, it's something, it's painful fat. These nodules, like, in your under your skin, like, and it's lumpy and it's bumpy and it hurts. And so I would love to get that surgery one day. I will, when life slows down and I don't have a bunch of other priorities that I have to put above my cosmetic surgeries. But I don't even know why I went on. I think just to go off of, like, her surgery itself, I don't think she should have gotten it at that point. I don't know how that will be in her, like, she hasn't lost a significant amount of weight. I don't know why she would have put herself through that surgery, when all that's just, if she does lose a significant amount of weight, you can lose weight on and have lipedema. My calves went from 21 inches around to 17. I am now able to wear boots, but my calves are still 17 inches. That's a very large calf. It is very, very large. I have the band of fat on the inner thigh. Like, I have lipedema all down my back of my thigh to my butt. Like, it's all there. My lower belly, I don't know if my lower belly is considered lymphedema fat. I'm not 100% sure, but one day will get all that skin removed. That doesn't, I just didn't understand why she got that surgery at such a heavy weight. That kind of is what I've been listening to right now, is just Shakara Transformations reacting to glitter and lasers. I don't agree with everything about what she says. I think that she is very one-track minded when it comes to success. But I also agree with her that she shouldn't have gotten that surgery right then. Like, why? I don't understand. But I'm interested to see what she does with it. But going back to the comment that I received about perception, I will say it again, like, when I addressed it and said that how she perceives it is her truth, I am not insinuating that she's lying about what she experienced with Amberlynn. I think Amberlynn is so delusional that they cannot look outside of themselves perspective-wise and see another person's point of view. I think that goes both ways. I think Beck also isn't stepping out of themselves to see Amberlynn's point of view. Do they have to? No. But when they were within the relationship, I found it very interesting that now Beck is saying, this is how I was feeling. This is how I was disassociating. I didn't even want to be on camera. This, and this. And Amberlynn saying, well, I didn't even realize. And then Beck says, well, I wish you cared enough, in that moment to actually see. If you were to have just been aware, and thoughtful or what, but they both wanted to be understood. They both wanted to be loved. They both wanted to be heard. They were not capable of doing that for each other. I think that they both did love each other. It was a different kind of love for Amberlynn than she received from Destiny. And I think that Beck just did not meet her needs and vice versa. And that's why they weren't good for each other. But when Amberlynn comes on and says that she wants to be transparent and she is being transparent, she wouldn't know what transparency was if it slapped her in the freaking face. That made me just laugh. I could not, I was like, oh my gosh, no, you did not just say that. Like, being transparent, Amberlynn, is not after the fact saying like what you thought the truth was or what you think that they want to hear. Transparency is coming out and saying it before it's even being asked of you. Excuse me. It's even being asked of you for the truth. Like, it's before the questions. It is, hey, this is what is going on. Before you even watch this video, I understand that this is how this could be perceived, or I'm worried that this is going to be perceived this way. Let me know. Let me tell you, right, what I was doing, why I was doing it, and why it might come across that way, because this is what happened that day. And this is the fight that we got into, or whatever. Like, there's so much unsaid about the relationship and the dynamic behind closed doors that I don't think Beck wants to get into, that I don't think Amberlynn wants to get into, because of the light that it shines on themselves. Period. And Amberlynn coming on and saying that she doesn't want to have any of her relationships being addressed on the internet. Okay, Amberlynn. Whatever you post, we'll keep up on. We'll continue watching. I think that you come off very problematic, immature, unstable, wish-washy, inconsistent. And that is very frustrating for someone who supports you overall and wants to see better, wants to see change, and you still don't change. You still don't change. But that doesn't make the reaction channels that say really vile and terrible things true. I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying what they're saying is true. I'm not saying what they're saying is it's okay. I am not condoning that behavior, and I will never condone that behavior. It's never okay to demean, make fun of, bully, harass, all of those things. But when, as a supporter, I come on and I'm watching you, and it's like, Amberlynn, I could watch a video that you just posted yesterday and then go back and watch a video from 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago, and you're still either making the same excuses, you're still hitting those same walls, you're still saying one thing but doing another. It's frustrating. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry that I'm just going on a tangent, but one more thing. Amberlynn, you went to therapy for however long you went to therapy during your weight loss surgery. And let me see. I have my other phone. Let me see what time it is. Okay. You went to therapy and you said now, like, because of that therapy, I was able to process something very traumatizing. And it was this is all you brought up. So this is all I'm addressing because this is how it looks. You said that you were now able to process and talk about openly that traumatizing experience of you saving your baby brother. You wrote it down. I know this therapy. I've been to this therapy. I've done the same thing. It was very difficult, but that's a tool that therapist gives you during that trauma therapy. You writing down my thing was, it was writing down why that trauma or that thing happened to me. Why I think that might have happened to me. Like, what reason for that person to have done that to me? What would have been the reason? And write it from that perspective, and then reading it out loud. That was one of the exercises. I know Amberlynn's exercise of writing down what happened and then reading it out loud, but then also all the questions that go with it. That's one exercise, but you know, Amberlynn, that's a tool that they gave you. And if you are now able to process that trauma, by processing, you were able to process it. So now you can talk about it without having that big emotional reaction. That is what you said. Why haven't you, even outside of that therapy, continued using that tool that therapist gave you, that exercise, that you were now informed, aware that is something out there that is able to help you process it? Writing it down, reading it out loud again and again to yourself, to your partner or a friend, and being able to talk about it, desensitizing yourself from detaching from that trauma, that traumatic event, you becoming almost a fly in the wall instead of that person that was in the room. Like, yes, you are a person in the room, but it detaches yourself from that experience. It doesn't feel so real in that moment. It doesn't feel so heavy in that moment. Why haven't you continued that with all of the other traumas in your life that really continues to impact you? I find that odd. I find that frustrating because you could have still been doing that. I know that you journal. As much as you journal, I don't see why you haven't either talked about continuing that exercise, and if you have, why hasn't that helped you in general to work through some of the other traumas that you still consider and say are roadblocks or something that stops you from doing X, Y, and Z? I don't know. Something to think about, Amberlynn. Thank you for commenting and giving your perspectives. I will come on here and continue being myself, continue bringing my perspective. I appreciate every view, every thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, every subscriber. I hope everyone's just getting through life the best that they can, because sometimes life is hard and sometimes it's okay, and it's changing. It's ever changing, and we can all make it through. We can all make it through. Life is worth living. Lean on a friend. Watch a funny reaction channel. Watch me. Watch me in my dirty car after I unpacked and traveled 5-6 hours to Atlanta, Georgia this past weekend. But yeah, I hope everyone just has a good rest of your week, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.